What's going on, guys? This is Gravy on top, bringing you a DPS guide for electric powers on DC Universe today. So we're going to get straight into this. The most important stat if you're going to do DPS is might. Might is the #1 stat you should have. Might increases damage from powers, adds 0.25% per point at level 1, up to 45.45% per point at level 30. The most important part to know about that sentence is might increases damaging powers. That's all you need to know. Might is the #1 stat. The second most important stat that you're going to be wanting to get is precision. Precision adds damage to all weapon attacks. So whenever you're low on power, you're not using your power abilities, you're just using your weapon attacks, the more precision you have, the more damage you'll be doing with that. So that is the second most important stat. The third, you could say, is important, but it's not like you're going to be trying to mod to get power, but power is your third important stat, because of course that's like your mana. So those are your three most important stats. Might being the first, precision being the second, and if you want to put power in there as the third, that's fine. But if the controller is doing his job, you shouldn't be having to worry about power at all. Now, moving on to sockets. Because this is my secondary role, this is my main, I don't have all my sockets filled up. But, and in fact, I've researched them, but I haven't looked up to see which ones should go in, which ones like I did in the healing guide. But anyway, in the yellow socket, make sure that you get something that has might, or might and precision. If you can't get might and precision, do might and health or might and power if that's the only one you have left. But make sure that it has might, because you want to get the socket infinity bonuses. 2.5% critical ability attack chance, so that's 2.5% more critical attack chance on your on everything, your weapon attacks and your power attacks. Let's see what's the next one. Your red sockets, you're most likely just gonna go straight might, because that's the most might. The red sockets are where you can put the most amount of might on yourself. What is the next one? Is it blue? Like I said, with the yellow, it's something that has might. I think with blue, it's probably gonna be might and health or something. But make sure that you get that socketed for the affinity bonus. Don't be a noob like me and not get it done. Yeah, and your layer, if you have, your generator and all that set up or whatever, make sure that you get your weapon sockets too. Those are helpful. I don't have any to display right now, but that's it on there. So, next, these guys are testing out their powers in the background. I'm gonna first show you the iconic powers that I use. I have Weapon Expert, because that's basically adds 3% critical attack chance. You want to get that. And then 10% critical attack damage. You want to get that. I get this one just for the 50% defense. I like to not go down like a knife through butter. I hate that. So let's go into these powers. The first power that I use, Tesla Blast. The only reason I use this is because it electrifies enemies. It does damage when it crits. Like you might get 1,000, okay, yay, but it's not doing as much damage as your other abilities. But I solely just use that to get like the boss instantly electrified, so I can do my other damage abilities. Now, Wired basically put a buff on you and 3 other group members, and it has a chance to electrify your target whenever you or any of those people that have that buff on them, and your target is electrified without you having to necessarily hit them. Electro Burst basically you stomp on the ground and this big wave comes out in front of you, well, around you, and electrified enemies get knocked into the air, and it does damage over time, and it increases all damage by 35%. Electrogenesis is the same thing that I had in my healing guide. That's the one I use it, but instead of it doing healing over time, it does damage over time. And it doesn't necessarily say it on here, but I've noticed that most of your abilities, if you have the target electrified, it does more damage. I don't know if it's just me, maybe I don't know, but it doesn't say it, but I've kind of noticed that it does. Voltic bolt. You call down bolts of electricity to strike nearby enemies, possibly rooting or stunning them. Electrified enemies will cause damage over time to other enemies around them, and it has it's massive AoE. Like it doesn't matter how many people are around you. Like in what is it, League of Assassins, when you're on the boss that makes all those duplicates, the little duplicates of yourself. If you have that on and then do the stomp and then do that one, it hits all of them. You get so much damage. I have so much fun playing this. It's just numbers all day. This is very much an AoE based loadout that I'm using. It works good for me. I'm telling you, I do a whole lot of damage. But in ampage, the only thing that I use is electrocute. That's it. It summons a big cloud that basically makes this thunderstorm, and lightning comes down and hits your targets. Electrified electrified and polarized enemies take additional damage. So that means if your target is electrified, they take double damage. But also, let's say you have a quantum power guy in your group and they polarize a target, you get extra damage there and you haven't even done anything. So that's the only one that I use in there. So is that it for my loadout? Yep, that's everything I use in my loadout. So let me show you what the buff looks like. See those balls of electricity? Basically 3 other people would have those on them too. And whenever you hit somebody, see the electricity going around him? He's electrified. And once he's electrified, if I put this cloud up here, it gets double damage. See both the numbers coming off him? Now I'll show you what happens if he's not electrified and I use the cloud. It should just be one number that comes off him. You don't get double damage. Yep. And the numbers aren't as big as they were. So all of your abilities, I'll show you the stomp. Well, he wasn't electrified, so he didn't get knocked into the air. He still didn't get knocked in the air, but mostly all of your abilities. That's electrogenesis, the damage over time. Electrocute him again. Go over here and hit the stomp. So you got knocked down. There's a whole lot of damage you can do. So those are the powers. Now I'm going to show you a little gameplay to show you this in action, and I'm going to show you the charts after I get through. I'm telling you, I do a whole lot of damage. So we'll be back. See you in a minute.
Solomon Grundy does not deserve to be a pawn in Faust's scheme. You must engage Grundy while I perform a counter curse. Grundy mine smash you! Animus Replicate dcuniverse. Solomundi, may your spirit rest for now. Faust's scheme to barter fake souls has been stopped, and Grundy can return to what could be called normal. Our success today is due in no small part to your efforts. On behalf of the Sentinels and myself, thank you.